Hey guys, this is Nomiki Konst. We're here at the DNC forum, the final forum, which discusses the future of the Democratic Party. We have met with all of the chair candidates and several of the other candidates who are running for different positions in the Democratic Party, but we have not met with Secretary Perez. Tom Perez was the Secretary of Labor up until just a couple of weeks ago after Donald Trump was inaugurated, and he is now running for chair of the Democratic Party. There has been a lot of debate over Secretary Perez's positions and place in the race. Mainly because he has been backed by former administrations, both as he's staffed with several members of Hillary Clinton's campaign team, and of course he's been backed by President Obama, and Vice President Biden has endorsed him. There are several other people in the race right now, and we've asked them some of the tough questions, and he finally got back to us with a written response to our questions, and we're really looking forward to having a hearty conversation with Secretary Perez about the future of the party, but specifically some of the aspects that have held up the party in the past. Why is it that the Democratic Party has raised more money than ever and lost more seats than ever? Everyone's saying that they want to organize. What does it mean to organize specifically? Everybody's talking about the 50-state strategy. That was a strategy, that's a 10, 11-year-old strategy for the Democratic Party. If we're looking to the future of the party, what is it that is going to transform this party beyond the 21st century into not just thinking about the future of this country, but winning back House seats in states where Democrats have always had power? And that is what I'm going to ask Secretary Perez. Hey, Young Turks, this is Nomiki Konst. We're here in Baltimore for the last DNC Futures Forum, and we have Secretary Tom Perez, former Secretary of Labor under the Obama administration, free, living a fun life of campaigning. You didn't get much of a break.
Well, it was an honor to be with the president. It's the person that they've nominated to head the Labor Department is unfit for service, so I hope the Senate acts to defeat him, and we need a little courage among the Republicans, because this is a person who knows the Labor Department very well, because we sued him a lot because he was a serial wage and hour violator, and he also sued the Labor Department because we lifted overtime wages for people, and he didn't want to have to pay more. So it's this is the person that President Trump wants to be the steward for workers and working families, and it's I can't think of somebody less qualified. So I hope folks get out there in the Young Turks and call the offices of
I'll show up in front.
Democrats, and I think the Democrats already get it, but all we need are 3 Republicans, because this guy is that just doesn't stand for the American values. The Fair Labor Standards Act is a really important law that stands for the proposition that if you work a full-time job in America, you should not have to live in poverty. And this guy's been a poverty wage employer and proud of it. And he makes $10 million, but his workers get screwed.
So, you mentioned the Democrats. You're running for DNC chair, and there are several candidates, and I've been to every forum. And I will say that all of the candidates are starting to sound alike. Now, fair enough, you're all Democrats running to be chair, and so the values are pretty similar. And I'm hearing a lot of the solutions for the problems that the Democratic Party has faced over the past decade. The Democratic Party lost over 1,000 seats in the past decade, raised more money than ever in the past decade, with the sitting president, of course. But the question that I see, it's like an evolution. Every forum, there's a new set of questions. The question that I see popping up when I talk to members is, where did the money go? And everyone's talking about, organizing on the ground. You say organize, 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 50-state strategy. How is it that as DNC chair, you'll be able to ensure that the money is going to the right places?
Well, when you change the culture, the money will follow the culture change. And part of the culture change that we need to put in place is understanding that the 57 states, the 50 states and the territories and the District of Columbia, they are our lifeblood. They are how we will rise and fall. And when you invest in grassroots organizing, for example, like the Republicans did in 2013 in Florida, where they had a 4-year investment. It was a partnership with the Koch brothers, the RNC, and the grassroots movement of Southern Baptist churches and others. They found 130,000 voters. It was a 12-month, 4-year organizing campaign, and that's how they won Florida this cycle. And we've got to do similar investments. So if there's a $10 million budget that used to be all going into television, we need to cut that budget of 10 million and take a substantial part of it and put it into 12-month-a-year organizing. That's how we're going to win. We stopped making house calls. I firmly believe that when you make house calls and you listen to people, like I did this week, I was out in rural Wisconsin asking rural voters to give me, more substance, and they gave me great feedback on how they feel the Democratic Party hasn't just forgotten them; they've disrespected them.
Well, they literally didn't even visit them in the general election.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and that's why I got out there. We were an hour and a half east of Duluth, Minnesota, and we expected 30 to 40 people. We had somewhere in the vicinity of about 100 people because there was a lot of energy there. And we've got to learn from our mistakes. And that's what culture change is about. It's about making sure that we're making investments in long-term strategies for success. And organizing has a long-term and I think a short-term return on investment.
Without a doubt, every single candidate's talking about organizing. And so the future of the party seems to be, if everybody is telling the truth, based on organizing. But you mentioned ad consultants, and I think, when we don't know exactly what the budget looks like, but you can do some backtracking through FEC filings. There are a couple of consulting firms that have interests in keeping the budget bloated, going towards ad consultants and, polling and all these things to keep the party centralized. There's this Unity Commission coming up. One of the chairs of the Unity Commission, which is all about changing the rules of the Democratic Party, is a partner at Precision Strategies, which is a major consulting firm with the DNC. Do you think that's okay?
Well, listen, I have a lot of confidence in the Unity Commission. That was a very good compromise and a very good proposal that both the Sanders and the Clinton campaigns came to, and I'm looking forward to the results. There's a very inclusive set of folks that are going to be serving on that, and I look forward to, and I believe the incoming chair has the ability to appoint 3 members to that commission. Sure. And if I have the privilege of getting elected, I will make sure that we have 3 really good folks. And you know what? I've been involved in culture change before.
If you're the chair then, and the Unity Commission's about your party, aren't conflicts of interest a concern? If you're going to change the culture on the ground, how do you change it without banning these conflicts of interest who want to keep the party bloated?
Well, but I don't. When you say that someone wants to keep the party bloated, I don't know. The people that I talk to want to build a Democratic Party that works for everyone. And so I think there's a groundswell of understanding that we need to transform the culture of the party. And I think, the folks who are running the Unity Commission, there's going to be a lot of different perspectives that are put to bear. That's exactly what we want because
including consultants.
We have a big tent in the Democratic Party, and I have a pretty good track record taking organizations that haven't been firing on all cylinders and moving forward. I have a pretty good track record in the procurement front on making sure that minority contractors have a fair shake, and the Democratic National Committee has not done a good job in that area, and so that's something where I've done it before. I can do it again. I have a really good track record on making sure that the staff in places where I've worked reflects the diversity of the community. That's part of culture change, and we've hired the best and the brightest where I've been, and they've been really diverse, and so we will do that. We will do that at the DNC as well. So, I've never been afraid to make tough choices in all the jobs I've had, and if I have the privilege of getting elected, I will do that.
One last question. This is about unity, right? Who out of the Bernie Sanders world of the surrogates is supporting you?
I'm sorry?
Bernie Sanders. Do you have any notable Bernie Sanders supporters?
We have Matt.
He was a staffer.
Oh, yeah. I think you're asking the wrong questions.
Well, but if we're talking about unity, every single candidate has both sides. Every single candidate we've asked has a surrogate from both sides.
There are people who supported Bernie Sanders in the primary who are going to be voting for Tom Perez in this election.
Anybody notable?
Why? I don't know if it has to. Does it have to be only celebrities count?
No, it's not celebrities. Union leaders, party chairs.
Why don't you come to Tacoma Park, where I live? Tacoma Park, Maryland, is a wonderful diverse and very progressive place, and come and talk to the folks. And there was just a remarkable amount of folks who supported Bernie Sanders, who supported Hillary Clinton, and who support me.
I think it's an honest question to ask, as the future of the party is about bringing these sides together, right? It's not a division.
I think the future of the party is about making sure that we are focused on what we have to do together to take on our existential threat, which is Donald Trump. And when we take on that existential threat together, that's how we move forward. And that's what I'm going to do as the chair of the party.
Thank you. Thanks.